Welcome to 108 Gates. We are doing the Capricorn May reading. Hope you are well. Capricorn is delighted. Capricorn, you feel as though you're seeing spaces and places where you're winning, and it's not in a cocky way, but it's you have identified, or you're seeing some spaces where you've already learnt certain lessons and other people are just entering into those things. So the humility around this is understanding that just because there's spaces and places where you're already aware of certain things, you're already in a mastery level of certain things, that doesn't mean that there's not more things to learn. So it feels as though you're going to be introduced to the new aspects of self, the new aspects of what you're going to be developing and what you're going to be evolving, and possibly new interests, new ways of doing things. So it's accessing a new part of yourself. Here we have a squirrel and chestnut for preparation. So excuse me, so this again, it does feel like you're getting ready for the next steps, the next stages, but it's also making sure that you're taking the time to acknowledge all the achievements you have made, acknowledge all the progress you have made, and not to get stuck in that. And I said it's not a cocky energy, but it could easily become that. So you don't want it to slip into getting complacent, or which I don't think you'd do, but you don't want it to start thinking the thinking process of, well, I've already done that. You're seeing other people do this, you're seeing other people do that, and it's like, well, I've already done that and I've already done this, so therefore I'm okay. It's about you now switching, and there's like there's certain things that they may have mastered and they may already be aware of and having worked with, but now it's you doing the other aspect of it. So it's you switching. So it's like there's a definite sense of equality will benefit you, knowing that equality is there, knowing that that humility is there, and riding that wave. So going into this new space, into this new wave of learning, this new wave of self-development with an awareness of, yes, I'm really confident with that, I'm really confident with that, I see other people aren't confident with that, but yet there are also other things that I'm not confident in, but other people are. And that humility is going to really serve you well. So the elk and the ash, strength. Just to not fall into, I don't know this, I don't know that, and therefore feeling depleted. It's just simply a matter of you're now learning a new skill. So if you want to make it really, really simplistic, it's like someone has mastered addition, but they haven't mastered subtraction. So you've mastered subtraction, and you're now looking at addition. I don't know why I'm using that as an example, but or division, or long division, long multiplication, whatever it is. So you're entering a new phase, a new stage of this, where other people have already mastered the long division. They're now learning a different sum, a different way of doing things. So if that's just a very, very simple way of explaining it. It's not that someone's better than someone else. It's not that someone's lowlier than someone else. It's just a simple energy contract. Ooh, energy contract. Okay, let's see what the cards are saying for that. That's going to be coming up. Interesting. Virgo just had this in the exact same spot. So there's certain things that are going to be coming up that this is why it was important to say it in that way. So there's certain things that are going to be coming up that you can work with particular people, or with particular company, particular group, or it may be even that you're working in your own sphere, maybe working for yourself in a new way that you haven't done before. It's understanding that there's certain skills, that skill set, skill awareness, skill mastery that you can bring to that table, and there's skills that other people can bring to that table too. So it's coming out of a mindset of, I have to be the one who does it all, I have to be the one who takes charge of everything. It's a matter of allowing other people to come in and kind of delegating more, or it's maybe good at delegating. Sorry, there's loads of cards falling on the floor. Let's see what's here. I'm going to take that one because that's the one that's kind of standing out. Adaptability. So being adaptable and making sure that you're able to understand is that flexibility and adaptability of where you work well with this group because you can bring this to the table, but this group is also bringing this and that to the table. So how you can work better as a team, how you can work better as a better and efficient and effective functioning team. That sounds easy to say. For some reason it's really awkward, and I'm feeling as though the awkwardness was around resistance to particular people in the team, or resistance to working with certain people. Why that is, it may be subconscious. It may be that you start remembering things of when you've worked with particular people who resemble these people who have come in front of you now, and it's remembering that that person is not the same as the person that you're remembering. So the person that's in front of you at this moment may be triggering, or they may be activating certain memories or certain connections with people that you didn't particularly like or particularly enjoy working with or being around. But the thing is, you're going to have to get over this. This is part of what you're mastering. This is interesting. Very, very emotional, very spiritual on some level, psychological. Otherwise, you're going to miss an opportunity that's right in front of you. Don't let past connections or past experiences, memories of the past, block you from seeing an opportunity that's right in front of you, because you could do yourself a massive disservice here. You want to remain open-minded, you want to remain open-hearted, you want to remain aware of the moment, be in the moment. So if someone does come in, as an example, it reminds you of an ex, or it reminds you of your parent, or it reminds you of a sibling, or an old friend who became an enemy or something, it is not a positive trigger. But the thing is not to transfer it onto that person, not to make that person responsible for your relationships with other people in the past. Acknowledge from this where you can grow, where you can allow yourself access to new parts of yourself, where you can start assessing things in a different way. There's loads here. This literally feels like if I was doing extended readings, I would definitely be going deeper into this. I don't do extended readings yet because I simply just don't have the time at the moment. Well, you know what? I do this because I enjoy doing it. I like doing it, and I'm coming here to do it again. That shift and change I've had to do. Yes, this is a May reading, but you may have noticed it's not the beginning of May. But do I want to come here and do this for you anyway? Yes, I do. So I'm just trusting the process that I get here when I get here. And it's that kind of vibe, it's that kind of thing that certain things aren't going to be looking the way you want them to look. So, for example, if you go into a new space and you're starting a new job or whatever, and you're like, I want everything to be spankingly new, shiny, bright, and there's no kerfuffle, there's no hassle. So straight away, it's like, right, you're working with so-and-so on this project. This is just an example. And that literally you see them and they remind you of someone, and you're like, oh no, this is going to be awful. This is very specific. So if it is resonating, that's interesting. If it's not resonating, don't worry, because it does feel like it's a specific energy. So justice coming in. You can bring justice to this situation. You can bring some clarity to this situation. You have a chance to grow. You have a chance to let go of some really, really intense past energies that you don't need to be holding on to now. So it's recognizing where you've already healed, and don't wound those healed wounds again. Let the wounded parts of you have a voice. Let the wounded parts of you have a space to be seen and heard, in the privacy of your own thoughts, in the privacy of your own, it may be in a therapy session, or it may be, I don't know, a reading, or whatever it is that you do, where you are exploring those things, or meditation, wherever it is you do that, explore it in there, because you don't want this to kind of, you don't want it to be flowing into this opportunity that's coming for you, or that is here now. Do you even have the opportunity right in front of you, and you're not seeing it and you can't see it? Really open your mind. The humility in this is going to be massive. Humility keeps coming up for you at the moment. So don't have that internal fight. For some of you, you're going to be able to see it and go over it and get through it straight away. Some of you are going to have to go into this fight and this little jig to be able to make sure that you've fully worked out the karma around this, that you've fully brought around justice for this, because it feels as though there's some of you that are holding on to some resentment or some, and even me saying that is going to bring up some pissed off feeling of like, I'm completely over it, I don't need to be stuck onto that, I don't need to be holding on to that, I'm not holding on to it, I've let it go, I've done my work and whatever else. If you're saying that in a slightly or even tiny note of annoyance or aggression or being pissed off, there's definitely something there that's gonna, it's like when you chip away at something and then all of a sudden you've got this massive, so I'm seeing like a carrot, so you see the carrot top above the ground and it's just a green leafy thing, but then when you pull the carrot up, like if it's a massive carrot, you see this massive thing. Hopefully if you're having a good yield, that you see this massive carrot come from under the ground. That's how it kind of feels, as though you just think it's this little light airy fairy thing that's like, oh, it's fine, it's done now. But then when you pull it up, the root of what you have actually got to deal with, that's the aspect that needs to be dealt with. That's the aspect that needs to be looked at and assessed and readjusted. You need to be adaptable with that strength. And so you're preparing for this at the moment. That's what it feels like for a lot of people, that you're thinking that, okay, I'm on the next thing now. This is you preparing for the next part of where you're going to evolve, of where you're going to develop. So this conflict in here, I won't be surprised if you feel that conflict. I won't be surprised if you're even slightly annoyed or angry at me now saying that, because you don't want that conflict to be coming back in. It's like, I really am done with it, and I really want to be done with it, and I really want to be done with it, so I am going to be done with it. But the reality of it is there's something still lingering. Judgment. How do you deal with this? How do you present yourself in this situation? How do you make sure that you're not getting sucked back into those very things that you've just thought you pulled yourself out of? How are you going to rise above it? This feels really, really nice here, because the Three of Wands over here, when you're looking out to the horizon, and it being above the conflict, it being above the judgment, is literally, how do you rise above all of that and just see the sweeter part of it, the nicer part of it. I want to get a clarifying card for this one over here. So the opportunity is really going to come in for those who want to, I can't say want to because you don't really want to have this going on, but for those who are ready and willing and able to find the strength and find the adaptability to the situation, and make sure that you're facing that conflict head on, you're facing it with the true heart, you're facing it with the honesty and the humility that is required, so that you can get through this with as less I want to say scratches and bruises as possible. It is going to bring up some aspects of the past. It's going to bring up some things that you thought were done with. It's going to bring up some really niggly, gnarly kind of energies that you're just literally going to be, why is this still here? Why is this still within? Why is this still in my subconscious? Why is it there? And it's more to do with, how can I get over this now? How can I release it fully and forever? How can I make sure that this doesn't keep coming back? How do I make sure that once I've done this work, it is actually coming to a bright conclusion, a conclusive conclusion, rather than me thinking that it's concluded and then it's still lingering, it's still got an attachment, it's still got a unresolved issue lingering there. Knight of Swords. So you're going to have clarity coming in around this. You're going to have information coming in, and it feels like it's coming in from your consciousness, it's coming in from your subconsciousness, rising, and then as your consciousness connects with the subconsciousness, you're going to start feeling possibly the energies of where you've been viscerally holding this. So if you start having twinges or a breakout of spots, or something starts aching, or you feel like you've pulled a muscle, or sort of got a headache or something like that, it could be that you're holding this tension in the subconsciousness, and as it's releasing from the body, as it's releasing from you, you might have an actual visceral physical symptom of it, but it's not that it's actually of any danger. I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, rather. So if you do feel like there's something off, or you're not feeling the best, it is best that you have it checked over, that you have it seen to make sure that you are okay if you're experiencing anything like that, because you always want to be 100% sure that you're doing the best for you, regardless of if it is a symptomatic thing or a somatic thing. It's more to do with you making sure that you're taking care of yourself now, and eliminating any doubt, eliminating any insecurity, eliminating anything that can just take you into a negative space. So if you're worrying about something, really just look at, how can I deal with this now? What's the solution? What is the way forward from this to being more peaceful? Interestingly, this has just fallen out into my hand. So, Two of Swords. Excuse me. Not being decisive. There's certain things that you don't want to be doing, because you know that I don't want to do this again. I don't have to go through this rigmarole again. I don't have to go through these emotions and these equating this to that, and calculating, how do I do this, how do I do that. Like, it should be done by now. But the thing is, you have a choice. You either face those last little bits or you don't, because those little bits now are the preparation and laying the foundation for the next level of your evolution, the next level of your development. So Capricorn, it's quite a grand reading, in all truth. So you've got this one just pop out, the Lovers. The harmony within yourself is really, really beautiful when you work through this. So if you choose the correct choice for you, you choose to do the work, you choose to acknowledge that I have opportunities coming to me, I have opportunities in front of me. I can't always see certain things because this certain conflict is coming up, this certain judgment that happened in the past, that was happening before, just because it's not there in my field of vision or my consciousness now, it doesn't mean it's not going to come up from the subconscious. It's those remnants, it's that stuff that really needs that last deep clean out. Like, how rise above it, and let the clarity come in. Rise above it. See yourself making progress. Tell yourself you're making progress, even when it doesn't feel like it. Look for the evidence of where you've made progress. Again, it's not about measuring yourself or comparing yourself to someone else. It's about you seeing that, okay, this thing I've worked on, this thing I can feel stronger in, this thing I do feel I've got a level of mastery, but there's now this thing that's showing up that's not so strong, that can be strong. And that's the beautiful part of it. You can look to it and think, you know what, I'm going to be able to rise above it and bring it to a conclusion which is satisfactory for me, actually satisfactory, not just the I don't want to deal with this now. So you got Temperance there, which is again that thing of just facing it and making sure you're doing the best you can, making sure you're keeping yourself cool, calm and collected, and when things are boiling, not to just douse it with cold water before it's actually been simmering and you've actually understood, what am I actually boiling about. So Capricorn, if you haven't already, please do subscribe, hit that bell. This is quite a conundrum, this is quite a cauldron of energies, so enjoy this process, and until later, peace and love.